This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzad. I got you covered for each and every one of your postcast needs. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. The obvious is this, they all can't be gems. The unfortunate reality, though, is this is a team you could very well see again in the postseason. And the thing that happened in this series, although you see 9 runs in particular, like yesterday, then you see 0 runs today. But the unfortunate reality of all of it is that this is what does linger over our heads in the Phillies fan base, that all of a sudden, just like that, the Phillies offense can go away. And it can go away against some good pitching. And I'm just seeing from Bob Nightingale right before I hit go on the show here that following the Phillies' 5-0 loss to the Dodgers in Los Angeles, Bob Nightingale just dropped this one on us from USA Today. Phillies win the series against the Dodgers, but the Dodgers rotation dominated the Phillies lineup. Philadelphia hitting .054 with 24 strikeouts in 56 at-bats against the Dodgers rotation over this 3-game series. That's a .054 batting average against starters in this series. That ain't a brag, folks, unfortunately. And this one was a rough one to watch throughout. Now, I had mentioned going into this game last night, I mentioned after the Phillies picked up game 2, the victory in game 2, that Blake Snell had pitched really well. It was 6 scoreless against the Rockies. How much is that really going to tell you? But we all know that Blake Snell's a good pitcher. Really good pitcher, as a matter of fact, especially when he's on. And boy, oh boy, was he on today. And that brings us to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Blake Snell was just flat out nasty, and I hate giving the tip of the cap to the other team, especially when it comes to giving them Player of the Game honors, but it's just undeniable. Just making the Phillies look silly. They mentioned it about 1,000 times throughout the broadcast, how many swings and misses he had as it was going on. It ended up being 24. 24 times the Phillies went, oh, this is a good idea. Oh, I missed. Drat. Okay. 12 strikeouts in this game. 7 of them came by way of the curveball. There were a couple of instances in particular that he unleashed the fury that was his curveball tonight. And the Phillies saw this thing. Now, I would definitely 12-6 curveball, no doubt about it. And in some instances, more so than others, it just hung up there. You could absolutely describe it. If they were able to have good contact on it and belt it out of the park or into a gap, you could call it a hanging curveball. But unfortunately, whenever it works, it never gets called a hanging curveball. So first inning, he unleashes one to Bryce Harper to sit him down in a 0-2 count. And throughout the night, this became a theme. Guys would be down in the count, 1-2, whatever it was, 0-2, 1-2, sometimes even 2-2, but mostly down in the count. And Blake Snell would just haul this pitch off, and they would see it floating through the air and go, oh, here we go. And it would look like they would try to murder this baseball. And that's what it looked like time and time again throughout the night. And then more often than not, swing and miss. More often than not, one of the 24 swings and misses, again, as the game went on, just racking them up in that regard. As I mentioned, 7 of his 12 strikeouts came by way of this curveball, this looping curveball. Bryce Harper, he got on it in the first inning. Later in the game, he's able to get out of a little bit of a jam there in the 4th inning. He's able to unleash that on Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos, 0-2 count, swings at the curveball that bounced in the dirt. Not in front of the plate. Castellanos has done that before where he's tried to play cricket. This one was at least behind the plate, but still, it bounced nonetheless, looping through the zone, and Castellanos took his greatest hack at it, but that was it for him, unfortunately, in that 4th inning. And yeah, that was just his bread and butter throughout the night. In the 7th inning, I swear I've never seen this before. I've seen a manager go out to take a guy out, and then the guy ends up winning the battle, and then stays in the game. Well, Blake Snell gets Dave Roberts out there to the pitcher's mound in the 7th inning. He's gotten himself into a little bit of a jam. There's 2 outs in the inning, though. He walks Nick Castellanos, one of the few times, if not the only time, he lost a 3-2 battle. Gets Nick Castellanos in the 3-2 count there in the 7th inning. Walks him, unfortunately for Blake Snell. Then he walks Max Kepler. After the back-to-back walks, Dave Roberts trots out there to the mound. Snell, the whole time, you can see him going, yeah, I'm good. Not coming out. I'm good. Meanwhile, Vesia comes in from the bullpen. He gets, about 20 steps out of the bullpen, and they're all waving, yeah, just go back. He's not coming out. He's not coming. Just go right back. And sure enough, Snell stays in the game. Vesia goes back into the bullpen. That part I'd never seen. I'd seen a starting pitcher win the battle to stay in the game, but I've never seen the bullpen guy trot out and be like, oh, no, not me. Okay, fine. And then go back to the bullpen. And then he later came out and pitched the 8th inning. So Snell won that battle. And then after he won that battle with Dave Roberts, he won the battle in the 7th inning because after that, he was able to get Otto Kemp swinging at a 2-2 fastball away for the 24th swing and miss of the game. The interesting thing about that last at bat, though, with facing Otto Kemp, was the fact that Kemp goes up in the count 2-0 and then immediately stays aggressive, which I don't hate, but gets a pitch to hit, misses it, gets another pitch to hit on the outside, fouls it away, and then he just gets toasted with the fastball up and away, I believe it was, to end that one. So Blake Snell just toying with the Phillies throughout the game, most notably with the curveball. He had 3 strikeouts by way of the fastball, including that last one to Kemp. Then he got one on a slider and another one on a change. And everything, for the most part, was working for him tonight. Everything was working for him tonight. His counterpart tonight, Jesus Luzardo, was not god-awful by any means tonight. Got into some trouble in the 2nd inning, unfortunately. Led off the inning, giving up a solo home run to Freddie Freeman. He left a 1-0 sinker, a little too up, a little too in. And Freddie Freeman was able to turn on that one and put it 419 down the right field, into center field for a 1-0 lead. Then this one was interesting for Luzardo. I mean, he certainly looked like he had good stuff tonight. You can look at the first couple of innings, including the 2nd inning, unfortunately, where he got gotten to a wee bit. You can definitely see he was having some good stuff. But the Rorvit play was the RBI single to center field, 0-2 count. He threw a good sweeper for the first pitch of the at-bat. That was down and away. Rorvit missed it. Then he threw a bad sweeper, which was up in the zone and in a little bit. Rorvit's able to just put a good swing on it. You're talking about a double down the line type thing, but it was a little too inside for that, but still, strike is obviously swung. So it's an 0-2 count. Again, you got a sweeper way down and away and a sweeper up and in. So what does Luzardo do with the 3rd pitch of the at-bat? He goes with another sweeper, and this one was just a terrible middle of the zone, splitting the difference. You could tell JT wanted it away. It came up middle of the plate. Rorvit didn't miss it, puts it up the middle for a base hit, hangs the sweeper. Now you got an RBI single. It's a 2-0 game in favor of the Dodgers. After that, Luzardo was fantastic. He was great. I don't understand why at any point. Now, he got into some trouble there in the 4th inning, but that was a comedy of errors. We'll get to that. I don't understand, though, after that, why he came back out for the 8th inning. He was about 98 pitches. He was right around there. I don't understand having him come back out just to face Shohei Ohtani, who he controlled throughout the night. That I get. But this point in the season, he's close to 100 pitches. I don't want him getting to 100 pitches. Now, the rub, unfortunately, in all this is what do you want, a Ryan Kerkering facing Shohei Ohtani? Obviously not. So he decides to put Luzardo out there for one more, and that did not work out as Shohei Ohtani took a 2-2 sweeper. Again, the sweeper comes back to bite him, 408 feet to center field for a 4-0 lead then for the LA Dodgers over the Phillies. That was in the 8th inning. I don't understand, again, why Jesus Luzardo would be back out there, but nonetheless, there he was. 4th inning, though, to go back to this for a second. He finds himself in a good spot in that 4th inning, Jesus Luzardo. Gets Edman to fly out to left field, gets Rojas to strike out on a 2-2 changeup that he used masterfully. Then Paje steps up there, and he walks him on 5 pitches. Were a couple pitches close? Sure, but he walked him on 5 pitches. Legit. Walked him on 5 pitches. Seiya behind the plate tonight. Not his best game as a home plate umpire, calling balls and strikes. But, yeah, Luzardo lost the slot a little bit on that one at-bat to Pages. So then Kike Hernandez steps up here, and this is where the comedy of errors comes in. Pages then steals second base. Luzardo, despite already having 2 outs in the inning and facing a not-so-great Kike Hernandez, decides to worry about the runner at second base. So he tries to pick off Pages, but unfortunately sails the ball into center field, allowing Pages to then go to third base. So now you got a runner on third with 2 outs. Please don't let this come back and bite you in the butt. Oh, wait, it does. Kike Hernandez then comes up there. Well, he's still up there. He gets the RBI single to center field. 3-2 sweeper, 2-2 sweeper. He puts it into center field. The 2-2 sweeper that ended up making it a full count, that should have been the punch out. You should have been able to get out of that inning. Just down 2. Unfortunately, to Hernandez, he leaves that one just 2 down for Seiya, the home plate umpire, to call it a strike. It was a strike. It was on the line. There were a couple other close pitches that were balls, that were called balls. This one was a close pitch that was absolutely a strike. Would have loved a little challenge system for this one, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. So look, when you look at the box score, let's say you wake up tomorrow, you look at the box score, and you go, oh, well, 7 innings, 4 runs. Oh, that terrible start by Jesus Luzardo, or not good. Yeah, 4 runs against the Dodgers. No, he pitched a lot better than that, and he should have never saw Ohtani a 4th time like he did in that 8th inning. So that I put more on Rob Thompson than anything, who's been phenomenal, and I've given him his props as of late. That one was a little bit of a head-scratcher, though, to have Luzardo come back out for the 8th. As far as what you'll be talking about tomorrow,
this is what you'll be talking about.
To go back to the bats for a second, in case you're just joining us, again, courtesy of Bob Nightingale, USA Today, .054 batting average against starting pitchers against the rotation of the Dodgers in this series. Yeah, they ain't going to do it. Kyle Schwarber, unfortunately, tonight took the collar 3 times. And then look at this. If you look at the Phillies' bottom of the lineup tonight, look at this. Castellanos, Kepler, Kemp, Wilson. 2 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts. And then your obvious home run champ, Kyle Schwarber, unfortunately, 3 strikeouts on the night. But Phillies mustering just 3 hits in total in this one. And also one more thing, just 3 walks throughout this ball game. Not ideal, to say the absolute least. This, I say it every time. And I was talking about good vibes being created by this team just last night, about how they're playing their best baseball in the month of September, and that gives you a feeling like going into October that you could be the hottest team in baseball, and that's ultimately where you want to be at the end of the season. It's one thing to be in first place for the majority of the year. It's another thing to be absolutely playing your best baseball. Last year's an example of that. You weren't playing your best baseball in the month of September. It felt like it was an impending doom, a gray cloud hanging over your head. This time it feels like some great things are happening, and then you have a little come back down to earth moment. And the come back down to earth moment was tonight. 3 hits in the ballgame. 6 base runners in total. And the few and far between, really the one opportunity you really had to do some damage, unfortunately, in that 3rd inning. You had a 1st and 2nd 2-out situation. Kyle Schwarber up. Things are looking good. He goes down looking at a 2-2 curveball in that, yes, was a strike, much to the chagrin of Kyle Schwarber. But this is what we talk about, and I reference this a lot. This is a team that hit 5 home runs in a World Series game against the Astros, and then the very next game got no hit. Albeit a combined no-hitter, whatever, they still got no hit. So, yes, this is why we have trust issues when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies. As far as the turning point of tonight's game,
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
All honesty, that 7th inning, even though the Phillies were already down 3-0, and Blake Snell was just phenomenal, that 7th inning where they got the back-to-back walks with 2 outs, another runner on 1st and 2nd 2-out situation in this game. When Kemp went down, I went, yeah, that's it. We're done here. And that unfortunately turned out to be the case. When we come back, we'll take a look at the overall pitching stats there for Jesus Luzardo, as well as Orion Kirkering, who came into today's ball game. And we'll also get your comments on this Phillies loss. The unfortunate thing, now 2.5 games also behind the Brewers, who just absolutely put a hurting on tonight. They got themselves a nice little victory. We'll talk about that when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. And right now, let me tell you about PrizePicks. Hope you guys are having a great time with PrizePicks, because PrizePicks is a great time. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, baseball upon us, and everything else just buzzing, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds on PrizePicks. I've been playing PrizePicks now for a couple of years. It is such a great time, keeps everything that much more interesting. In the football world, maybe like Josh Allen, more than 270 passing yards, or maybe like Saquon Barkley, more than 1 rushing touchdown in a game this weekend against the Rams, for instance. Then PrizePicks, it's where it's at. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And with all that money, how about managing it well with Monarch Money? Most people can't even name. And most people don't even know how much money is in some financial accounts or their 401k, what's in it. Monarch Money helps you track all of this. That's where it comes into play. All in one personal finance tool that brings you your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've been putting off organizing your finances, it's time to hit up Monarch Money. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you, and you can link all your accounts in minutes and see clear data visuals, get smart characterization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet, or as I like to call it, kryptonite. So use Locked On MLB. That's Locked On MLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year with monarchmoney.com. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with promo code Locked On MLB. And how about the Gametime app? Playoffs are going to be here before you know it. The way in, the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app. Create an account. Use promo code Locked On MLB and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, use promo code Locked On MLB for $20 off your first purchase with Locked On MLB at the Gametime app. I love using the Gametime app because it actually gives the advantage back to the fan base. Gametime is fast, it's easy, and it's backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets to the game, the concert, the comedy show, whatever it might be, and delivered on time at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. How about that? So once again, download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. As promised, Jesus Luzardo's final numbers on the night, 106 pitches through 7+, did pitch into the 8th inning tonight. That's where he gave up his 4th run of the game, a solo shot to Shohei Ohtani, who, newsflash, is pretty good at hitting baseballs. He gets Luzardo gives up 6 hits today, 4 earned runs, and his ERA goes up to 4.08 on the year. Ryan Kerkering did not look good. Now, no inherited runners in this situation, but 29 pitches to get 3 outs is a lot. Definitely want him pitching a lot better by the time the postseason starts. Let's get into the chat check and see how wonderful people are doing on this fine evening. Morgan Landy, sorry I couldn't go to the game for good luck today. That Morgan, it's your fault. I'm gonna blame the Phillies bats, Blake Snell for being great, and you not being at the ball game. That's what I'm gonna blame. Just kidding, Morgan. Of course, thank you, John. It looks like the hangover game, the delayed hangover. Like the little delayed hangover today. Yesterday I felt fine. I don't know. Just today it's like a delayed hangover. Dr. MP, hell no, we suck tonight. No life. Absolutely hate games like this at the end of the series. just about to ruin any mojo, even though they win the series. Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. The Phillies have had so many chances this year with winning the first 2 games and then losing. Look, I know if you win every series, that's great. But you know what else is great? If you win every game, that's also great. Both are fantasy options here. That ain't happening. My bigger point to all of this is the fact that you have an opportunity. Every once in a while, you want to go on a nice little run. Phillies had an opportunity to complete the sweep, and Blake Snell was like, not today, not this time. RF, I'm not hyped. A platoon against left-handed pitcher. Okay. Seabrook, not the way you want to play when you're about to go up against a crazy Arizona team. Yeah, how about them? Last thing I need is those guys coming back to ruin a season. Can't rely on the bottom of the order to carry every time. Come on, big boys. Yeah, Bryce came up small today. Schwarber came up small today. Yeah, just about everybody came up small today. Evelyn, hello. This is how I thought last night's game would be. I'm happy to get away from this crappy ump group. Day off tomorrow. That is true. That's right. Today's technically tomorrow. Today is Thursday. Seha, I really thought in that 9th inning just gave the Phillies no chance. It was the absolute definition in a 5-0 game where pitches that have not been strikes all night were all of a sudden strikes. It was I got to get my flight. I got a dinner reservation, this, that, the other. I didn't like it one bit. Not the reason they lost, but I'm just acknowledging I didn't like it. Yes, the Brewers did blow out the Angels today. That was the score. Thank you. 9-2, Jess Patrick. Thank you. Nick kills me as a righty who has so much trouble against lefties, says Red's Machine. That's a great avatar, by the way. Yeah, he looked terrible today. Last year, I think he had 16 home runs off left-handed pitching. Was that or 12 of it? I don't know. I forget what the number was. But the vast majority of his home runs off left-handed pitching today. You never know it. You never know it. Joel Olvers, happy with the series win, not happy with the offense. Has a no-show. Don't expect a sweep, but I'd like to see more fight. I concur. Connor, a much-deserved and needed day off after yet another flight to Arizona. Job not finished, but looking great. They did what they needed to do. Win 2 of 3. Nice. I hope so, Connor. 3-card Monty. Nick Castellanos needs to sit down. He'll be doing plenty of that. Let's not worry. BC, where you been, BC? Evelyn, hey, Farzy, at least you get some sleep tomorrow. That's the goal. That's the goal, Evelyn. Thank you. Elijah, hello. Walking home with tacos of sadness tonight. Wah, wah. But still believed in them to the end. Go Phils. There you go, Elijah. That's the right attitude. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Yes, off day tomorrow, but Connor Thomas will still be with you with your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I'll be back with you guys on Friday to get started in the Phillies Diamondbacks weekend series in Arizona. It'll go Taijuan Walker to Walker Buehler. That's fun to say. 9:40 start time Friday night. And yes, I will be right here with you guys. Ryan Nelson will get the start for the Diamondbacks in that one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Back with you guys Friday night. Until then, have a great time, and I'll catch you guys on Friday. Have a great one. Bye.